Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're here, I thank you very gratefully for your attendance. And if you can like, subscribe, comment, whatever, that's on you. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything. It helped me out. So today I'm going to focus on a subject that's very important and was thrown over to me by a suggestion. It was growing up without a father. Children that don't have a father. And we can start by saying a lot of successful people, J.K. Rowling, Harrison Ford, we got Steve Jobs, we got Robert De Niro, Eva Mendes, Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley, Jimi Hendrix, Genghis freaking Khan, Kanye West, LeBron, need I say more? All of these folks grew up fatherless. Now, does that mean because you don't have a father, you're going to be success story? Absolutely not, because you don't have a father and you grew up under the care of a woman or your mother that raised you and cared for you and nurtured you and taught you values and things in life that matter? Or does that mean because of that factor that you're going to go down the hole? Does that mean that you're going to stay there? Well, I mean, you can if you want to be. And if you place the blame on other things that you're doing rather than accept the responsibility and be an adult and face your fears head on and face your feelings head on, well, then, yeah, of course that's going to happen. But it doesn't have to. And that's the good news. I grew up fatherless, and my mother was like a rock in my life, avataristic and taught me value because I wanted to blame not having a dad on anything else except for the reason that it actually was. I acted out. Even though I was being loved and cared for and nurtured, I decided to do things that were uncharacteristic of who I am today. So, what do, right? It depends. Some people can learn at a young age, some people can learn when they're 40. Better late than never, right? You gotta have a cat in your life. You gotta have an animal that you can act as a father to. You put this sentient being in your care and you do what your father was absent for the and that means you provide it with love, attention, food, water, all the stuff that comes naturally, I guess. So, onto the subject of things. When you grow up without a father, it can affect the kid, the child, in various different manners. Now, it could be negative and it can be positive. At the time when you're a kid, it's not really your decision. But when you become a full grown adult, it becomes your decision to either go down a negative path or go down a positive. You have two different directions to go to, many different options laid out before you, and it's really all dependent on the path that you choose. And there's only truly one way. Be a good natured human being is what parents are supposed to instill into a child. Give you value, they give you compassion, love, they give you all these things to run with. And then when you do anything that's outside of that wall of whatever it is, parenting, then they do their job. Say, hey, don't do this. And you, as a fatherless child, would be like, well, I'm going to do what I want because low life dude left out of my life. And, I don't have to listen to you. Instead, I'm going to try to numb these feelings that I have. And I'm going to go get me a spoon and do what feeling numbers do. That's just the reality of the situation. Now, does everybody think that way? Well, not necessarily, but in a similar fashion, because whether it be a needle and a bottle, prescription pills, it could be anything, any array of things. It could be a sex addict, it could be an animal abuser, whatever. When a kid doesn't have two parents, then they're going to act out. And it's whether they act out in a positive manner or if they act out in a negative manner. And this affects the child emotionally. Obviously, it questions their self worth. It makes them feel abandoned and, gives them low self esteem. It affects their academic performance. It could lead to identity problems. You might end up with a goth kid or something of that nature. And it can most certainly have an impact on your finances because who taught you how to do that, right? A child that lacks a male role model and isn't disciplined correctly will act out, basically. But the good news is this, is that you can rise to the top or at least rise out of the hole that you're in, and that's success. As long as you get from whatever the bad thing you're doing is and you stop doing the bad thing at least for a day, well, then that's success. And then you continually grow that into little miniature goals. You set little miniature goals, you work upon them. And, this could be anything for like cleaning daily or eating healthy, spending time with your fur baby, your cat, your dog, your rat, your fish, your spider, whatever the hell it may be. Being kind to people and just good communication with your spouse or your significant other or your wife or, even family members. And then you build upon that, and then it grows a little bit further. And then maybe you might, somewhere down the line, if you're not some kind of like abject criminal, you might find yourself working. Holy fuck. And when you're doing that, once again, you write this shit down, build upon it. Small goals become bigger goals, and then bigger goals become large goals, and then larger goals become huge goals, and huge goals can lead to immense success. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you very much if you're here, and thank you very much if you're not.